Welcome to the Coffee with Cheryl podcast, the podcast for women over 50 who want to live their best life right now. Imagine having the courage to reinvent your life financially, professionally, personally, and spiritually. Join Cheryl and guests as they share practical tips and resources to inspire you to achieve the lifestyle of your dreams. So grab your favorite mug. It's time for Coffee with Cheryl.
Welcome to the Coffee with Cheryl podcast, a podcast for women over 50 who want to live their best life right now. I am your host, Cheryl Garrison, a speaker and author, a champion for women over 50. I am here today to talk about something that happens to many women over 50, and that is dealing with a lack of confidence. It happened to me. And it's happened to so many women who I've encountered as I coach them, as we just had coffee together. And speaking of coffee, I have my coffee. I hope you have yours. But I've spoken to so many women who are dealing with this. And what happens is as we approach our 50s and we've done all that we have done to this point of our life, some things in life have eroded our confidence, and we get here, and because of things that have happened or things that are happening right now to us, we have a difficult time getting our confidence to where we can do some of the things that we wanted to do and achieve some of the things like starting our own business, having the confidence to do that, or having the confidence to become a speaker. If you have something to say and you want people to hear it, having the confidence to start your own nonprofit. What about having the confidence to be a best-selling author, or retiring and retiring well? There are so many things that we deal with now that we're in our 50-somethings that if we are dealing with a lack of confidence, then we are not able to truly achieve those things that we dream about. So today's podcast, we're going to talk about confidence and how to boost your confidence in your 50s so that you can achieve some of those dreams. As always, I'm going to start today with a story. Last week I used a quote. This week I'm going to tell you a story, and it's a true story. And it's a story of how confidence can change the course of your life. There was a 22-year-old young lady who had just graduated from college and moved to a major city, Los Angeles. And in the 70s, when you graduated with any kind of degree, most people went to a headhunter or some kind of employment agency, and they sent you out, and people were hiring you because of the fact that you had completed college. And this young lady went to one of those agencies and ended up working with a multi-million-dollar company that housed two of the Twin Towers in Century City, Los Angeles, and went to work in the accounting department. Now, the funny thing about that is that this young lady had tested out of math in college because she despised it so much. But here she was with a degree in journalism and communication, and sitting in an accounting department dealing with the things she didn't like, and that was numbers. Well, she went to work there, and in looking at this huge corporation, like I said, that housed 9 stories in one building and multiple stories in the second, she decided that this company, this multi-million-dollar company with salespeople all over the world selling their products, that company needed a newsletter. Because she was a writer, she figured, I can use my skills here. I can deal with these numbers, but I can also use my skills as a writer. And so she, in her confidence and in her boldness, wrote a letter to the president of this corporation stating how important it would be for this company to, because it was in two separate towers, to have a newsletter that would bring all the employees together. She wrote this letter and sent it to the president. And one day, when sitting in her little cubicle in the accounting department, received a call from the president's secretary saying he'd like to meet with her. Now, who does that at 22? Well, this bold little confident 22-year-old marched herself over to the president's office, sat in a chair, and there was another man in the meeting, and expressed to him the importance of communication and keeping their employees up to date with what was going on in HR and going on in the company. And he smiled at her and asked questions and did sort of a mini interview, and so did the other man sitting in the room. And told her thank you for coming in, and they probably wouldn't need a newsletter, but thanks for the initiative and for having the tenacity to write the letter and come and visit with him. And so she went back to her cubicle, and she thought, well, at least I have the confidence to do it. And who knows what will happen. Well, several days later, she received a call from the man who was in the meeting with her, offering her a position in a newly created division, corporate communications. And she went within several months of working in the things she did not like, numbers, because of her confidence and because of her willingness to step out boldly and let people know what she wanted. She ended up in the writing department, and from there had a 15 plus year professional career as a writer, and in some instances as a consultant, and able to work in her own business as a writer. And so that is a story of how, when you're confident and when you have a dream and you are willing to go for what you want, it can happen. And this changed the course of that young lady's life. So what is confidence? It's self-assurance. It's knowing that your abilities and the things that you know are good enough to get you to whatever level you want to go in life. Doesn't matter whether you're a businesswoman, although for entrepreneurs, confidence in being an entrepreneur is right at the top. But it's just knowing that you have a security within yourself that you can achieve anything that you want to achieve and achieve your dreams. And so today, we're going to talk about some of the attributes of confidence. First of all, confidence is divided in some of the things that I've learned about confidence into two areas. One is identity, and the other is mindset. If you have your identity right and you have the right mindset, then you can boost your confidence to be whatever it is that you want to be in life. And in our 50s, that's important because this is truly the best time of our life. And it is the time that we live our best life right now. So let's talk about identity. Identity comes in two forms. One is social identity and self-identity. We all know what social identity is. It's how other people perceive us. You're a teacher, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're an administrative assistant, you're an entrepreneur, you're a musician, you're a writer. All the things that we are exterior, those exterior things that people see, those are our social identities, and people make assessments of us based on that identity. And if it's a positive assessment, that's great. If it's negative, they tend to bring their negativity to us and downgrade how we feel about ourselves because of our social identity. Now, social identity has very little to do with achievement. It just is who you are, like I said, as a teacher and all of that. But it's your self-identity that gets you to being that teacher, gets you to being that lawyer, that doctor, that entrepreneur. And self-identity is how we feel about ourselves. And many of us, this is where we struggle. Those little negative things, there we go with mindset, those negative thoughts in our heads that tell us that we're too old, it's too late. Technology has surpassed us and we don't know how to use a computer. We don't know how to use Instagram or LinkedIn. It's that stuff in our head that tells us that you waited too late and now you cannot achieve the things that you dreamt of all of your life achieving. And when you have those negative thoughts and you let them just beat you down, then you find yourself at the stage where I find a lot of the people I coach where they feel, I can't do that. Do you understand? I'm 50 something, I'm approaching 60. I can't do that. I'm afraid. I don't have the skills. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the money. All the things that we tell ourselves we can't do. And many times we go back to our childhood things that people tell us that we're not attractive and we don't speak well, we're not smart. All of those things that come about when we are growing up, we tend to run back to those things when we are in our own minds and in our own heads, not realizing that whatever you think, however you feel it internally in your subconscious mind is who you'll be, because your subconscious mind has no idea that it's not real. So if you tell yourself that you're ugly, you're fat, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can, because subconsciously you will remember that and believe it. Well, just think what would happen if you told yourself you're beautiful, you're smart, you're not too old, you can achieve anything. Your subconscious mind believes that as well. Just think about The Secret and how, if you've ever seen that movie or read the book, people were imagining themselves driving a red, fancy, expensive sports car, even though they knew they couldn't afford it, but they trained their minds to believe they were truly driving this vehicle. And within time, the vehicle ended up in their driveway. It's because their subconscious mind led them to do the activities that made it possible for that car to end up in their driveway. Subconscious thinking is real. And if you train your subconscious to think positively, to think achievement, and to give you that confidence that you need to do whatever it is that you want to do right now, then it can happen. So as I get to talking a little bit more about some tips that will help you achieve your confidence or boost your confidence, I want to read a quote really quickly to you, because I think it's really valid for where we are right now. And I want to share this with you. I'm going to read it because I don't want to leave something out. But when you think of your own self-identity, it is not what we say out loud that really determines our lives. It is what we whisper to ourselves that has the most power. So what are you whispering to yourself that's eroding your confidence? Because you are in charge. It is your self-identity that makes you successful, no matter what it is. So what are you whispering to yourself? We're going to give you 4 tips on how to change some of those whispers so that they will become positive thoughts of achievement, so that you can boost your confidence and that you can live your best life with confidence. Number 1, affirmations. If you know me and you've trained with me, you know I'm a stickler for daily affirmations. Affirm what you want in this life. Just think about the 22-year-old girl or woman who affirmed that she wanted to be a writer, not a numbers pusher in an accounting department. And because she affirmed that, she did the actions that it took to make it happen. So I say to you, create some daily affirmations of what you want in this life, your wildest dreams. Nothing is too big for you to dream, and nothing is too big for you to accomplish. So write daily affirmations and then read them and repeat them to yourself over and over, because it will change your subconscious thinking, the thinking that does not know fiction from reality. So tell yourself what it is that you want in life, and it will boost your confidence. Number 2, make complacency your enemy. When you have achieved, like many of us have, we sort of sit on our laurels and we start to accept, oh, this is good, I'm good, I'm good. And then we look down the road a ways and we think, why is nothing happening in my life? Because we have become complacent. So the biggest way to boost your confidence is to do something else, to add to what you are doing, achieve a little more. And I'm not talking about a trip to the moon. Just do a little more and do not be complacent and comfortable in where you are right now. The next thing, see failure as a chance to grow. We all fail in everything we do. If you're not failing, you're not doing. So when you do have one of those failures, look at it for what it is. It's a singular incident, and it's there to help you grow. So see failure as your chance to grow. And when you do that and you put failure in the right perspective, your confidence begins to grow and grow and grow. For me, when I had a major business failure, I let it almost spin me into depression. I just harped on it and muddled in it and woo-hooed and just all the things that I shouldn't have done. And the moment that I saw it as a chance to grow and move forward is the moment my confidence started to come back. And it's the moment that why I'm sitting here right now. I did not let that failure define me, and I saw it as a chance to move forward and grow. And then finally, hang out with positive people. Why are you hanging out with folks who bring you down? I have learned in my life that if you have nothing positive to bring to the relationship, you're not in my life. I surround myself with positive thinking people, people who care about other people, people who give to other people, people who say positive things about the people around them. Because when they do that, they help you to stay positive, even when things are going wrong in your life. So surround yourself with people who are positive and who bring joy and peace and happiness into your life. Now, as I come to a close with this podcast, let's think about that 22-year-old girl. I know some of you know it was me. I did that. I still some days think about that and think, how did I have the nerve? But I was so confident at that time in my life that I could do anything. I was confident that Cheryl was going to have the life that Cheryl wanted. And so I made it happen, of course, with the grace of God. God has given me all the strength that I need in my life and my faith in God. But my confidence helped me when I was 22 to make that change. And that changed my life. I was a writer I still write. So from the time I was 22 out of college, I have been able to live professionally using my writing skills to support myself and help support the family. So just think about that. Think about that confidence. That confidence helped me to start 50 something lifestyle. That confidence helped me to start this podcast. So if you're struggling with confidence and you know there are some things that you truly, truly want to do in your life, but you keep holding back because that little nagging thing in your brain keeps saying, it's too late, you don't know enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have enough money, you haven't worked it out yet. When those thoughts come, your confidence will be like a little, what do you call it, a shield. It'll just knock it out, knock it out, knock it out, knock it out until you're able to achieve those things that you want to achieve. Your confidence level is so high that no one and nothing can keep you from reaching your dreams and living your best life. Not tomorrow, not 3 years from now, but today, right now. So thank you for joining me this week on the podcast. And before I leave, I want to share something that's coming up at the end of the month. Any of you who have, you can look on the back of my wall, the 50-something, Becoming 50-something collaboration books series. We are going to be looking for authors for the third book. The first two were bestsellers, and each book has 8 authors in them. So if you have a story to tell, if you have a story of overcoming, or that will inspire a woman over 50 because you were able to get through what life threw at you, and you can inspire and empower and encourage her, then you may want to apply to be an author in our next book. We will be sending out those applications at the end of June. Now, if you want to receive one of those and love to get the information on how to be a part of that collaboration series, then you can email me at CherylGarrison7@gmail.com. CherylGarrison7@gmail.com. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and we'll see you next week. We may have a special guest, or we may talk about something more relevant, and always dealing with helping you to live your best life right now.